Hello and welcome. My name's Marie and this is my yarn journey. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. I'm always surprised with how long it takes to actually get set up to record. I don't know if I've mentioned before, but my lounge is like long and thin, and there's a window at this end and that's it. And the sun seems to avoid coming in this room most of the time, so there's not many spots unless I'm right near the window that I get good lighting. So yeah, that is a challenge, but I'm ready now. So I've not got lots of works in progress to show you today, but I've got a few things to talk about, so it should be an exciting episode. So get a drink, get your project, whatever you're working on, sit down and listen to me waffle about my knitting projects. Who doesn't want to do that, eh? Right, so I have got one very exciting whip to talk about, but it's a new cast on, but I'm going to wait to talk about that. I'm going to talk about my other two first. Now, you may have seen in last week's episode that I was hyper-focusing, furiously knitting along on a mitten. Now, you would think, wouldn't you, that I'd be coming with a finished object, a pair of mittens, and be showing them to you, but have you guessed it? Of course not, because I always do this, don't I? I get really focused on something until it's almost finished and then I stop knitting it. So should I show you? So here is my first ever colourwork mitten, and you will see there's a little problem with this mitten. Yeah. There's no fun, but dog hairs as always, sorry. Hope you can see the pattern well. These were surprisingly easy to knit so far. I've not done the thumb, obviously that might be more of a challenge, but I talked about these last week. I'm using a mitten mix set from Bird Street Yarn, and it's a traditional 75% merino and 25% nylon. It's a DK weight. You get two lots of 50 grams like wrapped up to look like one skein, so it's kind of cute. And I've got the grey and the purple. These are I think they're called the Winter Star mittens, but I'll put the name and the pattern at the side so that you can see. I very much enjoyed doing these. I did them relatively quick. I think it took me 3 days to get to this point, but I was just literally knitting on it, so I couldn't put them down. And you know what? I think they're going to be lovely and warm and be nice to wear. So hopefully I can get these finished at some point soon. I'm going to try my best to get myself to do this thumb. Or if I don't even do the thumb, maybe cast on the next mitten so it's on the needles and I've got no excuse. But yeah, I really think they've turned out beautiful. I'm really proud of them. I was daunted by them, but you really shouldn't be. I mean, this is only 2 colours in these mittens, so you know you've only got 2 strands to deal with, which I know can still be challenging when you're first doing colour work, but I've not done a lot of colour work and I found them relatively straightforward. The chart, it was easy to follow the chart. Yeah, they've been very, very enjoyable. It's just that, as always, I've ended up with another project that I've cast on and now that's it. I don't want to knit on anything else. But I will get back to these because they are really, really good. And I think they'll be lovely and warm on to wear on dog walks. I'm also thinking that because they haven't taken me too long, depending on how the thumbs knit up, to be fair, because I might change my mind when I do that, but it might be nice to do a pair as a gift knit, because I am planning on doing a couple of gift knits this year. So I've talked about them. I talked about them last week, I think, on the podcast. So there isn't much more to say. But yeah, like, I did get the full hand section done of the first mitten. I've got the other one to do. I don't know when I'll be getting around to doing the second one, but because I've got a bigger project that I'm focusing on at the moment. I was talking also about my underlace top last week, and I did do what I said, and I did actually knit on this while editing, but as you can see, I've only done about 4 rows, but it's coming on, do you know what I mean? I do need to try it on, I think, actually. I was going to, I did measure it, and I think I put, was it around 7 inches last time? I think it was, and that's what I put on the screen on the last podcast. So it's not really grown much. And I probably will work on this again today. I'm just going to move my progress keeper up. But yeah, I'll probably work on this again today because it's really easy. I don't even have to look at this when I'm knitting, so it's perfect for while I'm editing any videos. And if I do that, I will keep making progress. Hopefully more than 4 rows in 1 week, because I've got this whip. This is a 2023 whip, and my OLE mittens, and once I get them done, I can cross another square off on my giddy bingo, which I'm going to talk to you about. Actually, I need to put a update in the group for that on Discord, and I will do, because I don't think I've done that recently, and I've made a little bit of progress. Okay, I'm not sure this is going to be a very long episode, but it's strange because I've had a week of doing a lot of knitting in between work, and I have made a lot of progress. Anyways, without further ado, and I've got this in my my creative garage bag. Oh, and just a little tangent. Vanessa at my creative garage, she is who made this bag. Dyer and bag maker, fantastic. She has some gorgeous colours. If you like bright pops of colour, she's fantastic at doing those well. And she, I do chat to her on a regular basis, and she showed me, and I hope she doesn't mind me mentioning here, but I'm not going to obviously show any pictures because I've not had her permission, but she is bringing out some beautiful, now she's an Australian dyer, sorry, so they're going into spring now, which seems really bizarre when everyone's talking about autumn and, you know, the weather going cooler, and she's starting to warm up in Australia now. So she's obviously bringing out some spring based colours, but she's doing some mini sets, and they're absolutely stunning. There's a pink one in particular that is beautiful. She's not shown me the other colourways yet, but keep your eyes out. Like I say, it wasn't too heavy with the postage and everything, even included to order from her and get it shipped to the UK. Highly worth it. I definitely recommend it if you are in the UK. I don't know about what it would be like for other countries. If you live in Australia, check her out for sure. But yeah, it was a little bit of a tangent. Now, already. And this has got one of her yarns in as well. I hope that you can see this. If not, and it's not on shot, I will actually I will put some pictures. Sorry, I've not sewn in any of my ends on this. There's ends everywhere because you do cut your yarn quite frequently with, well, you wouldn't have to if you're using one colour for your colour work, but because I'm using the 3 colours, I'm just cutting it and I'll sew them in. But I'm really pleased with how this is turning out. It is bunched up quite a bit on the needle here, unfortunately, and I will tell you in a moment what yarns I'm using. I hope you know, because it's quite an iconic sweater this. It seems to be a lot of podcasters have knit this, and obviously probably loads more actual knitters that are on YouTube. And you know what, this yarn, this main colour, this cream, and I will tell you what that is in a second, it's absolutely divine to knit with. The knitter's experience is really good, so I hope it's as nice to wear and it blocks well. What I've done with this is the porcelain sweater, sorry. I think is she called Lene Holme? Again, I'll put it up on the screen. I've wanted to do this pattern for around 12 months now, if maybe not a bit longer. I saw a picture which I'll pop on the side, and I'm sure you've seen loads of times because I have mentioned this a lot now. I saw lots of YouTubers knitting this pattern with the blue and white, and it wasn't calling out to me. But when I saw this beautiful bright version, I was just like, yes, I want to do that. I love that, and I want to do my version of that. So last December I went to, sorry if you've heard this story before, but I'm presuming some people won't have. Ended up going to Runningyarns in December last year. They helped me pick out the yarns. I ended up with the two colours, this colour in the centre here, the darker plummy colour, and then the lilac colour, and I had a navy blue, and they were all in the same yarn. And I'll just show you the tag. And it's this one, which is the fingering weight, so I'm holding it double, and it's Carl's yarn. It's organic soft merino, 100% merino, and it is a fingering weight, and I'm holding it double because this is a DK weight pattern. This colourway is spiritual. I don't know which one that is. And these are the two colours caked up. Like I said, I picked these two out. Oh well, I didn't, I had help. The lovely ladies at Tangled Yarn helped me pick out these colours, and I had a navy blue to go with it, which would have been a very, very stunning combination. But when I got this yarn from my creative garage, from Vanessa, I instantly thought of the bright pop of colour in the porcelain sweater I'd seen, and with it having the sparkles one, I just thought this would just take it up a notch for me. So I thought, let's do it, let's just try this yarn, and this is called Cruel Summer. Like I say, it has got a sparkle, and I don't know if that's picking up on camera or not. Something stuck in it here. Yeah, and so oh, and the tag for the other one, it's this one. This is not a yarn I've used before. Now when I went to Tangled Yarns, she was raving about this yarn, the lady in the shop, and it's the Fibre Co. The colour is Blanca, and it is, as you can see, it's called Luma, and it's cotton, linen, merino wool and silk. So I don't know how warm or what it's going to be like to wear. My first time using it, but like I say, it's lovely and soft, but it's so nice to knit with, and that was what she was saying, and that sold me on it. I was like, yeah, and she is right. The knitting experience is fantastic. So I'm really, really pleased. Now, what I decided to do with this, if you've seen the pictures of the porcelain sweater on the pattern, it's a massively oversized garment. Now, I haven't swatched, but I generally know for most patterns that to meet gauge, I need to go up 0.5 millimeters, which I've mentioned a few times recently because that's something that I've discovered about my knitting. I am a bit of a tighter knitter, so I generally need to go up in needle sizes. Now, I haven't been swatching, and the reason for that is because I'm finding that my swatches are lying. They're not telling me the truth. So I'm doing the swatch, and when I actually start knitting the garment, my gauge is not what I'm getting. My swatches for some reason seem to be looser. Now, whether that's because I'm doing the swatches flat, I don't know. But anyways, I'm finding this way of just going up 0.5mm in needle size is making it more accurate for me, and I'm hitting gauge easier then. But this garment, if you've seen the pictures, very oversized. I've just done my pole sweater, and that was very oversized. Now I've seen versions of this knitted, and I think the lady from a homespun house, and sorry I can't remember her name, love watching her content. She's you know, lovely person, and she did a more fitted version. I have seen quite a few versions that have not done it as oversized. I don't mind this being a bit oversized, but I didn't want it to be quite what was shown in the picture, because I knew that wouldn't really suit me or be the vibe I was going for on this occasion. So instead of going up, so this is a long-winded way of saying this to you, but anyway, instead of going up 0.5mm in needle size, I decided I would go for the 115cm bust, bearing in mind that my bust is around 100cm, and I would stick to the needle size recommended in the pattern, which is 4mm and 3mm. And I knew that my gauge would be slightly off. Now I checked it after I'd done part of the back, and I'm coming at about 24 stitches, and I worked it out, and well, I worked it out in inches, not centimetres, and I'm telling you centimetres. I do tend to switch between the two when I'm not sure why, because it doesn't make sense, but I do sometimes switch between them. Anyways, I'd worked out my stitch count per inch, and I worked out that for the size I was knitting, I would end up with a bust circumference of just under 42 inches. Now I'm absolutely fine with that, and hopefully that's how it's going to turn out. I did try it on just before I joined, and it's looking like it's going to be an okay size, and if it is more fitted than I was expecting, I don't mind that either. It is getting to the point that I probably will want to try it on again soon, so I'm probably going to wait until I've got 2 rows to do on this second motif, and then I'm going to probably extend my cable on my needle and try it on, so I can get an idea. But yeah, I think that the colour work's turning out fantastic, and I'm glad that I did go for this bright pop of colour. What do you think? It's definitely a more unique take on it than just the blue and white anyway. It's not for everyone, I'm sure, but yeah, I've just literally been knitting on this furiously. Now I cast this on I think it was last Saturday, so 6 days ago. So I've had 5 full days knitting on this, and this is what I've managed to do. Mona was joking with me saying, oh, you'll have that finished for Yarndale. Now, vote in the comments, what do you think? I'm not putting myself under any pressure to do that, but I should have started it sooner if I wanted it for Yarndale. I'd never even thought of that. I can always wear my pole sweater, can't I? It would be nice to wear this, but it's highly unlikely, because you know what's going to happen, because it always happens, doesn't it? What do I always do? I'll finish the body, maybe, and then I'll have to pick up for sleeves, and I'll be like, oh, should I just do something else for a minute? And then this will be waiting around for sleeves as well. But I'm hoping that because I'm enjoying it so much, and I've got the colourwork section, you do want to like get through those, and it's interesting, and I'm finding that that's motivating me to keep going. Oh, I'll just do another row, just do another row, and then I get to a lovely little stockinette section, and I'm like, oh, this is fast, because the colourwork rows do take me a bit longer. But yeah, if you can't tell, I'm very excited about this project. I've had it in mind for such a long time. I can't believe how much I'm loving knitting with this yarn, and the pops of colour just making me smile every time I look at it. So hopefully that'll be the case when I wear it. Just hope it's going to be a good fit with what I've decided to do with the needles and my gauge. Yeah. And wish me luck for no bleeding when it comes to blocking this. I will be a bit worried about that after all the work I've put into it. So yeah, if you haven't used that yarn as well, I'd highly recommend it. I was looking at other colours the other day because I like it that much, and I was thinking, oh, what else can I knit in it? Because I've got a few things that I want to do. Okay, so next I am going to talk to you about some acquisitions that have come in. I've recently, I think last month, joined up to Homespun House Patreon, and so I do get the Patreon mini set at the moment, and the so look away if you are part of this. Oh, and I'll just show you, look at this cute bag it comes in. It arrived the other day and I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting that, and I knew instantly what it was, and it was like, oh yes, that's yarn. So this is the sock set. They're always very beautiful. This is very much my friend Mona's colours. This is the August sock set. It's called Morning Cuppa. It's a 75% merino, 25% nylon, 294 meters in 70 grams. And then I've got the free 10 gram minis, which is 30 grams in total, and that's 165 meters. Look at these colours. I can't wait to put some of these in my blanket, you know, my incredible Pearl Soho blanket that I'm working through. Got loads to add to that. Yeah, these will be very, very fun. So yeah, that was nice to receive those. So I've added them to my, as you know, I have my ins and outs in here. So still only got the 2 finished items for this month. I've not finished anything else. So that's the Pole Sweater at 590 grams and the Musselburgh at 100 grams. And the sock set and the minis make that 100 grams in. So I am minus 590 at the moment. Obviously, I'm probably not going to be at a minus after I've been to Yarndale. Yarndale is a week tomorrow, so next Saturday, I think it's the 28th or 29th, I can't remember the exact date, but it's definitely the Saturday that I'm going. So if any of you are there, feel free to say hello. Plans for that, I've already mentioned that last week, but I'll just mention it briefly again. I may get the odd single skein for socks. Not that I need any, but sometimes it's nice if you see a colourway that catches your eye just to pick those up. And as you know, I'm trying to knit lots of socks this year, although I need to get back on with that. But other than that, I have picked out 2 sweaters that I'm hoping to get yarn for. One is a sweater that I saw, it's an Andrea Mowry, and I think it's called Stone Crop, but I might be wrong with that, but I'll put it on the screen so that you can see. I first of all saw that on a video from a Homespun House, and she'd done a lovely version of that in a dark purple, and I adore purple. Now I don't know if she'd used a spin cycle, which is the contrast yarn. Now I've been thinking about what I want to do. So yeah, I was looking at the colours for the loomer, the Fiberco yarn that I'm using in my porcelain sweater, to see if there was one. Now there was a dark purple, so that's a potential option, but I don't know, because that is a blend, how warm it's going to be. So if any of you have actually used that loomer before from the Fiberco, I'd love to know what it's like to wear, how warm it is or not, what it's like for pilling, that sort of thing. Because that I've enjoyed knitting with it so much that definitely is a potential for that, but I'm still not sure what I'm going to use in replacement of the spin cycle. I've been AJ's given me a couple of suggestions. One is I think it's called a Zucker ball, because that's similar, but to get the actual 2 skeins that I need at the spin cycle, it's £28.50 a skein, the 50 grams, and you need 2. It just seems a lot before you've spent what, you know, over £50 before you've even thought about getting the main colour for the sweater. So I was a little bit like, I'm not sure I want to really spend that much, but I may do, who knows. But I was looking at alternatives to see what was out there, really. And it's quite a muted spin cycle colour that she uses for the contrast. And I think against the dark, that's why it pops. But yeah, so I might look out for yarns for that at Yarndale. And also I want to do a sweater for Christmas Day, and I'm hoping to do this one. No idea what it's called, I can't remember. The only thing I can remember about it is it's a black sweater, and she's got a beret on. Now it has got a little bit of a neck, which I wouldn't normally go for, but there was something about this sweater that I just thought, I really like that and I might try it. Didn't look like it was a super tight neck, which I wouldn't like, but again, I need the main colour, and for the contrast I am thinking of giving it a whirl with the yarn that I got in Rome, which is like a sparkly glittery yarn. Might be a mistake for colour work, but I'm not sure. But if I don't try it, who knows. But I just thought it would be a nice one for Christmas Day, that. Now whether I do it in black or navy, I probably will do it in a dark colour, I'm not sure. Have you got any suggestions of what colour combos would work? I mean, I have got an Ula and Leah mid purple colour in stash, but I've not assigned to a project yet, and that's a sweater's quantity. I think I've got 4 skeins of that, but for both of those projects I'm not sure it's the right vibe. Although if I do go for a dark purple, I could potentially use that as a contrast, but then I keep thinking, but I could actually make a full sweater out of that. So if I use some of it for a contrast colour in another project, then I wouldn't be able to maybe do that. It would have to be like a short sleeve top or something, and it is wool and will probably be quite warm, so not suitable as a summer t-shirt anyway. Because the other option for that yarn as well was to make another cardigan, and actually there's a cardigan that Mona's suggested, because I'm looking for pattern recommendations and I'm hoping to do a video coming up soon. Different types of cardigans and sweaters that you can wear with dresses, because that's what I'm missing in my wardrobe. So I need a few that are cropped that I can just sort of wear over a dress to make it warmer if it's a bit of a cool day, because I like to wear dresses with tights in winter and boots. So if you've got any ideas for that, pop them in the comments and I can look at making a list and doing a video very shortly. Okay, well, there's a couple more things that I just want to mention, and then I think I'm done for today. I just wanted to update you on my bingo knitting challenge. So far I have completed 4 of the squares, and that is that I finished Rain's sweater, I've knit 6 pairs of socks from Stash Yarn, I've used my Alice in Wonderland advent, and I have taken part in the winter set knit along. So they're the 4 that I've done. Left to do is knit a pair of slippers, monitor yarn in and out to hopefully reduce stash. Now I have successfully so far up to this point in the year monitored every month my ins and outs, and I'm really pleased I've done that. It's given me a lot of insight into how much I'm knitting through, how much I'm bringing in, all that sort of good information that going into next year will be valuable to use. Now use as many leftovers as possible. I am using my leftovers. I have used, when I've finished a project, I have been knitting some into my Incredible blanket, just a couple of rows. So I feel like I'm doing quite well on that. I could do better by knitting through more of what I need to do for my Incredible blanket. And Complete All Frog All Whips started in 2023. That excludes blankets, as I've said before. I've got the 2 left, which I mentioned, my OLE mittens and my Underlace top. So I have been working a bit on my Underlace top, mainly while editing, and I've still got October, November and December left where I hopefully can get those done. And the last thing I just wanted to show you was a couple of yarns caked up. I'm not sure if I showed these on last week's. I'm going to be making some mussel boroughs. I think I did show these last week, but I will just show them briefly again now that they are caked up, so you can see them before I start knitting. And like I said, these are for gift knits for mussel boroughs, and that's 3 Tree Fibre Crafts, and that's called Pledging. Standard sock yarn, furry, Pledging 4-ply sock, and it's Fairy Wren. And then there's this one. This is a Dystopic Fibres, and it's one out of my Advent. And then this is a Giddy Yarns, and I'll just tell you the name of this. This was from her Dragon collection. That's Draco Paeonia. Oh, I can't even say it. Peonia, and it's the flower was a peony, and that's why I had to get it. But yes, those are already caked up. No idea when I'm going to cast them on. My plans for this week. Obviously my main focus at the moment is that porcelain sweater. I'm going to knit some on my Underlace top today while I'm editing, and hopefully I can at least get the thumb done on this, and if I can get my next mitten cast on, then it will give me the incentive to work on them a bit more. So let me know in the comments what you've been working on while you've been watching along. And like I say, any cardigan pattern suggestions would be fantastic. And I'm going to leave it there for today and go and make myself a lovely coffee and a bit of breakfast, and knit on the Underlace top while editing. All the while thinking, I really want to knit on my porcelain sweater, but I am not going to do that until this video is done and up on the channel ready for you all. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate you all. Bye.